Little trick with Timbaland, he never quantized anything. This feels like a verse that might want to hang around in one chord, which would be awesome. Very dark and just kind of more of a hip hop vibe. I program drums one of two ways. Very often, I will do it visually. The other way to do it is how for years I programmed drums on an MPC. I always played them. I'm gonna track a vocal melody because I'm hearing something in my head. If you're gonna swing a beat, you don't swing it ahead of the beat, you swing it behind the beat. And already I'm stumbling into something that's really unique, dark, but like melodic. You could have a small track. You don't need 13,000 things happening. It's about getting the right sounds. I gotta pick a tempo. So let's get like 5 mono tracks for vocals or whatever. I'm gonna create, let's say, 4 tracks for keyboards. I'm gonna create, let's say, 4 tracks for MIDI, just some instrument tracks. First thing I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna open up a drum kit. I program drums two ways, one of two ways. Very often, I will do it visually, meaning I will throw in kicks and snares on the grid and map out a tempo that I like, or a pattern that I like, or a beat that I like. It's just moving around samples and waveforms and with a click track until it feels right. I do that a lot. The other way to do it is how for years I programmed drums on an MPC. I always played them for like 10 years. And then when I discovered the battery kits, I started doing it with battery. And you get a bit more of a human feel to the drums and a cadence. And lately I think I'm getting more back into actually playing drums out. So look, I have 19,000 kits. I could spend forever going through all these. But I'm gonna pull up a couple that I know I like. Okay, like I know I like the alphabetical pop kit. I like this alt fabric kit. I'm gonna figure out how to go through some sounds real quick. All right, already I like that. That's kind of like an 808. That's dope. That's a little aggressive. I feel like I like that right now. Maybe that's a chorus thing, but that for 3 minutes might wear me out. That's sick. Jeez. Now that's sick. I don't even know what that is. See, what I love about battery is, honestly, I don't know what any of these terms refer to. Like, what is the sound of alt fabric? I have no idea what that means, but it's cool. So I like these two. I like that, and I like that. I think that's the sound I'm gonna go with for now. And I may change it, but I like that. What's that tempo though? 1, 2, 3. What is that? Is that 105? Is it 107? I don't know. There's a good click track in there. How about that? I guess the tempo. I love it when I do that. There we go. There's my pattern. So I don't know that I need to quantize it necessarily. I do know that the first beat needs to 100% land on the 1. I don't want to start early. If you're going to swing a beat, you don't swing it ahead of the beat. You swing it behind the beat. Little trick with Timbaland back in the day, part of what made Timbaland's beats so different and otherworldly, he never quantized anything. So he would just loop something for like eternity, like 10 minutes. He'd close his eyes and play the beat until it felt right to him. And then that became the loop. Which is amazing. It's a little harder to do when you start stacking sounds on top of each other, because then everything has to be slaved to that original beat, and you're visually having to line stuff up instead of quickly copying and pasting things. It gets very cumbersome. Right, so like that first, this feels good. That just feels good. Even if it's not perfect, it feels good. See how swung it is? See that? I'm kind of on there, I'm on the beat, little swung here, on the beat, but see that little natural, that's called the human quotient right there. There are lots of quantization settings, 60%, 50%, 40%, 80%, swing like Logic, swing like an MPC, swing like a SP1200. There's all these different alternatives, but I'm a big fan of just like the human swing. And then where it's slightly off, or if it's too much, I slightly adjust it, but I still leave it not perfect. Like slightly address some of the imperfections here, but I'm gonna do them myself instead of letting the machine do it. That one's a little too, that's just a little too far behind in my opinion. Let's see if we like this. That, I love how that feels right there. Let's see, like worst case scenario as I get into this song, I might have to get it more on the grid. It might bite me in the ass down the road in terms of layering other things on there. Let's just see. All right, so this is obviously, all right, I'm kind of adjusting the swing in one big fell swoop. And what's interesting about this is that it sounds like there's an 808 attached to this kit, and I'm hoping that doesn't hurt me, but I can always print these. There we go, look at that. Now we're in one clip. So there's my basic pattern. I feel like this is the kind of song where that is gonna be my return to home base pattern. I might add or subtract from it, but I don't think I'm gonna change it. Here's how I'm gonna get more control over what I'm doing here. I gotta decide if I'm gonna print this and turn it from MIDI into an audio and then manipulate it in audio, or if I'm gonna do it here. Like if I need to change the key in this, what if I go down like negative, like if I go down 5 semitones. All right. So that's me taking it down, because obviously whatever my progression becomes in this song, this feels like a verse that might want to hang around in one chord in the verse, which would be awesome. Like very dark and just kind of more of a hip hop vibe where I'm not really getting off of the main note. That sounds like number E. What is that? Am I close? Am I close? No. Yeah, I think I was right. I think it's E. Yeah, so we're in E. I don't have Jacob Collier or Charlie Puth's perfect pitch, but I do have relative pitch, relative to A. And it's close enough just to be dangerous, because I'll be half a step off sometimes. So we're in E. So that's good for my voice. I don't know if it's good for Selena. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm thinking Selena and Halsey, who have a similar range. I'm gonna look at the key of. All right, just to get an idea of what key she's in here. E major. How about that? I'm in the right key. That's just called luck. So at least I know it's good for her. Might not be good for Halsey, but it's good for her, and I know that I can sing in E for sure. So what I'm gonna try and do here, watch this. I'm gonna separate this out. So I know that I like the snares. That's the kick, right? So now I have a track that only has my snare sound. I'm gonna get rid of it on that track. So now I can get this, have the snares however I want them. And then when I need to tune the drums, I'm obviously not gonna stay in one note the whole song, so when I get to the chorus, I can tune the drums. All right, so let's just do this. And if you want to, which I'll probably end up doing, this might be a little premature, but if I wanna max this out a little bit, get a little compression on that, I'm gonna use my LA2A Legacy. Apply some medium compression there. If you want to add some sub to that, I can always layer in another 808, or I could add a sub enhancer on this kick, which might be interesting. Pro subharmonic. This guy right here, that's a fun plugin to have. Pro subharmonic. So that's too much, but check it out. It's hard to hear if you're listening on computer speakers, but like if you're listening in a car or something like that, and you want to just take your existing sub or your 808 or your kick, and you're like, I want another 10%, 20% of like size to it, I'll throw this on there. A lot of times I will use this on a live kick. Live kicks often don't give you that, depending on how you mic'd it, it may not give you that full subharmonic range, and it may not have all that bottom end that you want it to have. You throw a sucker like this on it and it just peaks those low frequencies. So this is all at 0. Now, it's like an earthquake. I think that's about right there. So I added very little, 4 or 5% to that, and I can adjust that as I need to, but for now that works. All right, cool. So it's sitting on the E, it's sitting on the 1. E minor, it sounds like. We're in the minor scale in E. I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some auto-tuned. All right. I already know I'm gonna end up cutting vocals on this pretty quick. Humanize. There's a little 775. Alto, E minor. That's actually pretty amazing itself. Oh, there's my other sound. I just like that. All right, so I'm gonna, may want to use that sound in there too. So, all right. Just to have as a backup, let's record this. I don't like it on the offbeats. Okay, this though, I do want quantized. I want that to be right on the grid. So all right, so I have that as a backup. I don't know until I put a melody on this if it wants to have more space like this. I actually kind of like how my snaps sound right there. I'm gonna record that real quick. Okay, what's interesting is this sound. I don't know, let's see. I don't like how it sounds on headphones, which is another important lesson, by the way. Sometimes stuff that sounds great in headphones doesn't sound good on speakers, and the reverse is true. Sometimes the sound on speakers sounds incredible. You put on headphones, you're like, that just doesn't sound like at all what I thought it sounded like. And this is a little weirder than I thought. Anyway, I'm gonna layer some snaps on it real quick because it's been a while since I've recorded live snaps, so I might as well do it now. There we go. Okay, super dry. I'm gonna pan these out left and right and just see how it sounds. This is how I create a quick stack. This is I don't know why it took me this long to figure this out, but I used to just do that like I am there, and then I'd go back through, do a whole nother track, and then stack them again for 4 bars. Do a whole nother track, stack them again. I'm an idiot. So I did that for years, and I was like, wait a minute. And I saw somebody in a session just go through and go, okay, look at that. Now I have a stack of 4, and they're all completely different. And I don't need to sit there and waste a bunch of time recording snaps anymore. So pan these out left and right, see if they work dry or if I need to add anything to them. All right, I kind of want them to be a little bit more panned. Sick, all right. Let's copy and paste these. The 2s and 4s. 2s and 4s are when you want your snaps. All right, so this sound right here, I really don't like. I'm gonna keep it, but I'm gonna see if there's anything else I can layer in there real quick. Then we're gonna get some melodies going and get moving on this train. That's kind of interesting. All right, I'm already using that. That might be better right there, so. All right, so boom. Quantize. All right, cool. Basically what I'm doing right now is aggregating a bunch of sounds that I like. I don't know how I'm gonna use them yet. I don't know, I might ditch. I probably use 1 out of 5 things I pull into a track, maybe 1 out of 10. But I like to pull them in there and selectively pick. You don't need to stack a bunch of sounds once you find the right sound. And so a lot of times producers, I've done it in the past, have like a snare will have 16 stacks of different snares on it because I'm trying to achieve a certain sound. And rather than spend all the time finding the right sound, you're just layering a bunch of other sounds, tuck them all, certain volume, and that works. And that was very, very, very common, like the kind of TikTok, Kesha, Katy Perry era that started in 2010, 11, like the Dr. Luke, Max Martin stuff, like on through for probably about 6, 7 years. I did it a lot too. I would call it like production stacking. It was like just, I wasn't like in a technical method, but it was definitely a style of production. And it was a kind of a rapid fire, quick approach to production that created a very dense sound. Now I think it's more about just finding the right sound. You could have a small track. You don't need 13,000 things happening. It's about getting the right sounds. I'm gonna go back to my primary snare sound now and actually map out a song here and get going. Okay. I'm gonna track a vocal melody because I'm hearing something in my head and see how it sounds. Check, check, check. 1, 2. All right, told you my little vocal. My little vocal cheat. Check, check. Here we go.
I was somebody different before I met you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Before I met you. Ooh. I was somebody loving before I met you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Before I met you. Ooh. Come on away, son, I ain't for it, isn't there? Ooh. I was somebody different before I met you. Ooh. But still, I felt that it made me honest and keeping me honest. But still,
obviously, I'm going somewhere, a different chord progression right there. One sec.
somebody different before I met you. Ooh.
Okay, I need like some little bit of reverb here, just to give me that vibe. So I'm listening back. I like what I hear. Mask some of my mistakes.
I was somebody different before I met you. Ooh. I was somebody loving before I met you. Ooh.
I like that.
Come on away, son, I ain't for it, isn't there? Ooh. I was somebody different before I met you. Ooh.
And chorus. Okay, so I'm kind of blocking out what the arrangement of the song is as I go. The shape of this verse, what could be interesting here, and already I'm stumbling into something that's really unique and really different. It's just dark, but like melodic, hyper melodic. So the shape of the verse right now is A, B, A, right? I was somebody different before I met you. That's A. That's the initial shape of the melody. And the second one, I was somebody different before I met you, right? So basically the same. So A. Then I went away, cut them off, that uneven left. That's a B. That's a different melody. We're departing from the established melody, so the listener gets something new. And then I'm returning back to, I was somebody different before I met you, right? A, B, A. This next section, what would normally come after this? Pre-chorus, right? Maybe. I just went to a melody that I love. Honest, you're keeping me honest. Like, and even that lyric kind of came out of nowhere, like, da-da-da-da-da. You know, don't know what kind of trip you got me on, but I know that I'm on it and you're keeping me honest. Like, I don't even know what that means. I just know I like how it sounds. And that melody to me could be a chorus, right? I really love it when you end up with songs that go verse, chorus, and you get to the chorus like that. Like, don't bore us, get to the chorus, 30 seconds. I don't know if that melody I just went to is going to be a chorus or not. I'm hoping that it is. I'm hoping that that turns into something good enough where I've given you the chorus in the first 30 seconds, because that's already a win. Like, as far as like pop goes right now, if you can do that, you know, or start with a chorus, which is what half of everybody is doing right now. But I just like this, and I think I know where it needs to go chord-wise. And the other thing I want to do, because I'm thinking it's for a female, is I want to mess my voice up a little bit to create like an otherworldly sound. I'm going to open, this is one of my favorite plugins, Little Altar Boy. I mean, this is what all of us have been using for a few years now. You have to get Little Altar Boy, first of all. You just have to. It works on guitars. It works on vocals, bass. It'll manipulate anything. And it just makes it, now I can sound a little more female.
Somebody different before I met you. Ooh.
See?
I was somebody loving before I met you. Ooh. Come on away, son, I ain't for it, isn't there? Ooh.
was somebody different before I met you.
I want to go. Okay, so. All right, so I'm going to adjust the glide rate slightly, which means the portamento, which means the notes will kind of bend into each other a little bit. Right now we're at 2. Watch this if I went. Okay, here we go. Let's try this, see how we like this.
I was somebody different before I met you. But still, it made me honest and keeping me honest.
All right. I might have to retract that a couple times till I get a perfect performance out of it, but that you start to get the idea. Because there's a filter on the Moog that's like controlling some of the volume, so I'm not getting a consistent volume level. So I might be able to fix that with compression. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to just like play it in 4 bars at a time, which is what I'm used to anyway. This might solve the problem. I'm using the trusty LA2A, see if it happens. That second half was perfect, so maybe, let's just see if I use the second half. I might have gotten lucky on my first try. I'll probably do another pass just as a backup, but that was pretty dang on it. And even the pocket on that was great, so let's try to. Sick. I'm gonna try and recreate that in stereo, see if I get lucky at all. But I just love how it just feels mean. Actually, what I can do here is just do this. I'm gonna create an aux track. Save some juice. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just kill the LA2A. I'm gonna send them both to the same aux track. So now they're kind of married, more or less. And UAD, LA2A. There we go. Okay, so I don't have any lyrics yet, but I'm gonna start adding a few more layers of production here. I need like a otherworldly kind of sound in the chorus to just kind of keep it haunting and cool, but like, and I'll get into some like drums and other stuff.